Pop Culture Pastor.
Alrighty, folks. Come on down to the show that never ends. No, that's not. Sorry. I don't know what greeting that was.
I feel like you combined 3 or 4 greetings into one.
I had a lot of caffeine right before this. I had a coffee.
I really thought that we were going Ace Ventura. And then you switched it.
No.
And then I'm like, where's he going?
This is Pop Culture Coffee. No, this is Pop Culture Pastor, the podcast. My name's Dave. Cody's here.
Not fueled on coffee.
Not fueled on coffee. And Geek of the Round Table, Sir Justin John.
Good to see you all tonight. How's it going?
In my head, there were several other Justins. Like my brain was like tripping over.
JJ.
Yeah.
JJ.
Yeah.
We got a doozy of a show for you today because we are full on in summer blockbuster season.
Let's go.
I've been here.
Yeah, Cody's been here. He's been ready, and we're getting ready for the new Superman movie.
I've already been on board that train. Haven't watched it yet, but I'm on board.
Yeah, unless you've been living under a rock and you have no idea, then you probably knew that was coming because the Superman movie is finally almost here. James Gunn's magnum opus.
I don't know if we should go that extreme.
It better be. It better be his magnum opus.
He doesn't miss.
Oh,
So
come on. Come on. He's not
Okay.
Marty Scorsese.
let me pull it up.
No, don't do it.
I already have it out.
Don't do it.
Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 92 for Rotten Tomato critics and fan score. Guardians 2, 85-87.
Please do not
Suicide
list every
Squad
project he's ever done.
90-82. The Christmas special, 94-81. Guardians 3, 82-94, which 82's criminal on that. Then Peacemaker, 93-89. Creature Commandos, 85-81. He doesn't miss.
This is the part we're going to edit out.
He
by the way.
doesn't miss.
Okay, there's a new Superman movie coming out.
He's basically Doc Holliday.
And the anticipation is real. We're all excited, Cody. But of course, no one is more hyped than Cody.
Yes.
Cody's a DC guy. He's been talking about this movie since, well before the first teaser dropped.
As soon as they announced it.
So if you hear any of what I would call uncontrollable excitement during this episode, do you ever like let out any noises? Like,
I go full Howard Dean if I have to let out noises.
yeah! All right. You know, just if you hear anything, it's Cody trying to contain his inner fanboy. And you shouldn't contain it because we're all about the fanboys.
Yes.
And who could blame them? I think we're all a little excited about a new Superman.
For sure.
Let's be real. Anything with a cape and some spandex, bound to get us talking about it.
Nacho Libre.
Will this be the movie that saves and starts a new version of the DC universe? Will it be everything Cody's dreamed of?
Yes.
So let's stick around because we're all diving into the early reviews. That's what we're going to do. Normally, this would be the news segment, but some of the early reviews are coming out. This would be non-spoilery. We're just going to take a look at Rotten Tomatoes and see, because this is the next week's pod. Right now, this will be the Be Kind Rewind on Superman, the movie from 1978.
Don't forget the movie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But we're doing this all to get ready for this James Gunn's Superman. So let's take a look.
We really should have reviewed Brightburn.
Yeah. Brightburn's good. Let's look at these. Let's look at these Rotten Tomato scores right now. Currently, as we're recording this on a Wednesday night, the tomato meter for Superman stands at 84%. Which
critics score after 200 reviews.
Yeah, which I think, look, that's a win. But most comic book movies have been coming in around the 50s and 60s, and like DC even lower than that. The Snyder stuff, the last of that stuff. So this is and this is beyond wildest dream territory.
So after the first 55 reviews, it was at 94%. And so I think you get some of the more serious critics that are like, this isn't cinema.
Well, so the way Rotten Tomatoes works is those first ones are the people invited to those the advanced screenings. And then when the embargo lifts, the critics come in, the real critics, the people that get paid to do it. And usually that score dips a little bit down, especially for comic book movies. Because, some of the critics are just going to be like, boo, comic book movie. They're not even going to give it a chance. So but here, the audience score, popcorn meter, is at 96%.
Wow.
That's hot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what the kids would say is that slaps.
New hotness.
So I thought we could look at just a few of these critics, what the critics have to say. Here is, let's see, Brittany Murphy. Muses of Media. Is that that's a real, she's not a top critic. She thinks Superman was a mixed bag.
That's all she said?
Well, no. She said it had glimmers of goodness, but settled for just okay.
Oh.
She was just the first one that jumped out to me. I'm looking for the top critics here. David Sims from The Atlantic.
Okay.
He says, fresh. This Superman is more than anything concerned with our society's struggle to accept the possibility of inherent goodness. The result is an optimistic movie, one that sees a hopeful way forward for both Superman and the world's other caped men and women. If that's what this movie's about, I'm going to love it.
I will say, previous regimes were not as optimistic with their runs of superheroes, and I am okay with the departure from that.
Yeah, that is a very good sign, because I think that's, what's been missing. Let's see, another top critic here, Jake Wilson from the Sydney Morning Herald.
Oh, who doesn't like Jake Wilson from the Sydney Morning Herald?
He bombed on the latest Jurassic movie, but he says, possibly the most hyped cinematic reboot in the history of reboots, and also a perfectly adequate piece of light entertainment.
Oh, I'm here for that.
He said
Light
fresh.
entertainment.
He said fresh. Rafer Guzman from Newsday says the new DC universe gets off to a promising but unsteady start with this reboot. Dominic Baez from the Seattle Times. The action sequences are top-notch, stunning visuals, adding a delightful crunch, bones do break, and a sense of scale appropriate for someone like Superman.
I love that review.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Michael Phillips from the Chicago Tribune says it's nicely packed and quite funny when it isn't giving in to Gunn's trademark air of merry depravity. That's my concern. That's the big thing. We'll get to that in a few minutes, because I want to talk specifically about what we think is going to be the way to success. Kristen Lopez from the Film Maven. It's far from a perfect movie, but it isn't even necessarily a great one. But it's the funnest time I've had watching a Superman movie in a while.
Man.
I don't even know what that means, but she gave it a fresh review.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
That told me nothing.
Fun time sounds like summer, so I can get down with that.
I will say the score for top critics is lower, because most of these top critics are not giving it super high reviews. But comic book movies are interesting because. So I follow a lot of content producers online because I like to stay informed for doing this podcast. And all of the comic geek content producers that got to see this movie love it. They love it, which is a good sign for me. Mm-hmm. Now, it may play different to what we call the normies, the people who don't have that comic book loving background, but we'll see. So, yeah. That's about the gist of it. Most of the reviews are good. The top critics are more 50-50. I wanted us to come here ready to talk about, before we get to our Be Kind Rewind, what are the 3 ways to success here for this movie? Like, I was curious to know from you guys, what are the 3 things that this movie has to nail for it to be successful? Cody, do you want to go last since you're the James Gunn guy, or do you want me to go first, or do you want to go last?
first?
Okay, I'll go in between.
Okay. Yeah, just add in.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
Number 1, David Cornsweet must nail the transitions from Clark Kent to Superman. This isn't just about putting on glasses and slouching. It's about embodying that duality, the farm boy humility of Clark, the godlike confidence of Superman, in a way that feels real, authentic. If Cornsweet can sell that transformation like Christopher Reeve did, then that's half the battle.
Yeah, for
which,
sure.
Like I will say again, the reviews glowing of individuals, like the actors for Corn Sweat. There's a lot of glowing reviews out there. So that looks good. Number 2, Nicholas Hoult has a chance to give us the definitive Lex Luthor. Lex has never truly been nailed on the big screen. Hackman went camp. Eisenberg was, well. But comic book Lex, the cold, brilliant, power-hungry genius, is still waiting for his moment. If Holt brings that
What
gravitas.
about Smallville's?
This is the big screen. I will shout out here in a second. If Holt brings that gravitas with a touch of menace, he could give us Lex. However, I will say Michael Rosenbaum deserves a special shout out for his Lex on Smallville. But understand, that was a super Elseworldy. That is not really Lex either, even though it was great. Number 3, James Gunn has to make Superman relatable without breaking him. So let me explain. The challenge here isn't about making Superman cool. It's about being good. Gunn needs to show that hope and virtue still matter. So in a cynical world, we don't need mopey monologues or existential angst. That's Bruce's lane. That's the territory of Batman. Clark's superpower is his heart. And Gunn has to fit Superman in today's context while saving that dopey, optimistic, hopeful kindness of Superman. I think that is the most important thing. That has to be present. Cody, what are the keys to success?
Justin.
Justin.
I would like to say I did watch. There's a movie reviewer that I watch on YouTube a lot, and when that behind the scenes YouTube, like 6-minute cast talking about the movie came out not that long ago, he informed all of his subscribers that the guy I don't know his name. Feel bad. The guy who plays Lex in the new one here. He had actually auditioned for Superman first, and they decided to go in a different direction with the other guy. Mm-hmm. And so he firmly believes that there may be like actual real life built up angst that he can use as that character to funnel towards the Superman.
Well, that's the key part about Lex is there's this xenophobia mixed with envy.
Yeah.
Right? And the envy part, yeah, I see it. Cody, what are the keys to success for this movie?
Okay, so I took it from the viewpoint of the DCU.
Okay.
Like, if I was wanting to nail 3 things and it would guarantee success, these are the 3.
Success for the ongoing universe they're trying to build.
And for this movie.
Okay.
Because this movie has to stick the landing and make some money.
Yes. Yeah.
First thing is you got to cast the perfect Superman. Mm-hmm. And Mr. David Corenswet just seems genuinely nice. Like, in all the press and things that they've done, they had this game where him and Rachel Brosnahan were supposed to read off things from this tablet, and it was all compliments, but they were trying to make the other one laugh, and like he wasn't getting that he was supposed to read it off the tablet.
He just kept complimenting her for real?
Yes.
Like spontaneously?
And he's like, I don't get it, but you really do have nice hair. Like, he was just so sweet and genuine, and yet I've seen Twisters.
Yeah. Well, he's
a jerk.
Look, you can't deny the acting pedigree. He's Juilliard trained, like another Superman I know.
Yes. So I'm going to put a check by that one. You need to get a writer and director that's familiar with the source material, a comic book nerd. And I mean, I don't know a bigger comic book nerd besides Scotty Walker than my dear friend Jimmy Gunn. Jimmy loves the comic books, talks about being raised on comic books. Literally, he's already kind of made a Superboy movie.
I don't know how pleased Scotty's going to be with you mentioning him in the same sentence as James Gunn, but okay.
It looks like DC found their guy. And then the last one, key to any successful summer blockbuster, you have to have an animal that's cute and adorable.
I'm telling you, Jimmy knows, he loves his dog, and I think this guy, he's gonna sell crypto, man.
You're like the TV exec, Bill Murray's TV exec in Scrooged.
Yes.
It's got to be animals. You know how many cats watch television?
I mean, the best part of Jurassic World Rebirth, Dolores.
That's a not a tough contest.
And then like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, animals are key to the story.
It is James Gunn's specialty, man.
I mean, the dude helped make Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see how he uses the soundtrack as well. Because one thing one of my favorite things about James Gunn is, even though he's not like one of my favorite directors, even though I like some of his movies, one of my favorite things about him is how he uses music.
Him and Snyder do a good job with it, but they go opposite music taste.
For sure. For sure. Okay. That is enough getting ready for Superman. We're going to go do Be Kind Rewind. But first, it's time for the movie game. Let's go play the movie game. All right. I just had to get they were too busy talking. Still talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
It's a classic.
I'm like, hey, can we record now?
It's incredible, but it's so sad. Oh my gosh.
All right, it's time for the movie game. The game taking the world by storm. You can buy your take-home version. I'm just kidding. There is no take-home version.
I mean, you can buy the literal game.
There's one take-home version, and I pop out when you take it home and open it. Hello! I hope you didn't look at the cards, did you? I got excited.
No.
Okay.
Saw nothing.
All right, here we go. The movie game, the way we play is I'm holding 3 Rotten Tomato profiles for movies in my hand. One is a certified fresh, good movie. One of them is a mediocre movie, and one of them is a rotten, bad movie. Justin is the visitor, and he will just select first which one of those movies would you like to try and solve.
I've been thinking about this a little bit, just because I listened to Jackson attempt it last time, and
Jackson notoriously goes the bad movie.
Yeah, which I don't play his game.
He loves bad movies.
Yeah, he must. I think I'm gonna go for the best movie. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna just see if I can nail it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good idea. All right, Justin, your movie on level number 1 here. So this is the way this works. Level number 1, critic score in the year. 2, the second billed actor. Level 3, the audience score. Level 4, the first billed actor. And level 5, the blurb. So level 1, this movie is a 91% certified fresh movie from 2001. Cody's just, I know he's itching to guess.
He probably is. He probably
same
knows it
old
already.
Normal guess.
2001.
It's a different guess.
It is a different guess, but I can't tell you if you're right or wrong yet.
How old is Avatar?
I can't tell you that.
Avatar.
It is not Avatar.
Avatar's after 2007.
Yeah, but it's a good
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Avatar was probably critically well received. Your second level is the second billed actor, Sir Ian McKellen.
Ooh, okay.
2001 movie.
2001.
91%.
I've got a couple of ideas here.
Then it's not the movie I guessed.
It is not. It was not The Fountain. Although, probably also critically well received.
My first thought is like an X-Men movie. X-Men, yeah.
X-Men number 1. That
Yeah.
is not it. Not it. So level 3, you'll get the audience score. It goes up a little bit from the critical score. 95%.
Wow.
So we got a 95% audience score, 91% critical score from 2001. Whoa, almost dropped it. And the second billed actor is Ian McKellen. So just guess another Ian McKellen movie.
Another Ian McKellen movie.
Here on level 3. Level 3. Cody's guess is in.
Trying to think of like where I was in school.
You were still in school.
He's like
Things
counting
happen.
backwards.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, using my toes.
You're taking this way too
I
seriously.
am.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm not going to get this.
X-Men 2.
That's a good guess. It's another, as long as you can get another movie from the actor you've already got, that's good. But that is not correct.
Okay.
It's time for level 4, the top billed actor, Elijah Wood.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to need
Which
more
one?
information.
Okay, hold up. So I'm thinking about
2001, 91%, 95%.
So let me. Okay, again, that was like my next guess, but I was like, no, I wasn't that far along in school at that point.
He's got a 1 out of 3 shot.
Let's do Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
It is not the Two Towers.
daggone.
It's time for the blurb. Dave's blurb voice. Here we go. A hobbit who would prefer to stay at home must set off on an epic quest, and with the help of his faithful companions, save Middle-earth. Are you struggling? He's like he's drawing a blank.
I'm
The
okay,
panic is setting in his eyes.
I don't want to guess wrong.
There's only 2 possibilities
I
now.
know. Okay, I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
No,
It's
really?
Fellowship
First
of the
one?
Ring.
it's Fellowship of the Ring.
I guess Return of the King as well,
Dude,
but that
I
was
was-
like 2 turns ago.
Dude, I was like in grade school when that came out. That wasn't 2001. That's garbage.
All right. There's going to be, listen, I'm just going to prepare you, Justin. There's going to be some immense feedback from listeners on that one.
It's because I'm not a. It's because I'm
Especially
like I'm only
since-
half nerd.
You are like Christian, like schooled.
Listen, Justin was Christian schooled.
I was.
He isn't, like he said, he's kind of half nerd.
I was young. I was young. He was younger than 2001 when I saw that in theaters. I didn't even know what Lord of the Rings was, and I got drugged to it.
Cody,
Give me the middle one.
you're going with the middle one. All right. We'll
This
save
is a
that one.
rarity.
Just in case Cody cannot come up with this, and I'll save that one for the tiebreaker.
All right.
Level 1, Cody. This is a 62% critical score movie from 1996.
Oh.
Well into your adult years. As an
It's
80s
okay.
kid.
I was around and coherent at that time. So let's see.
I know this is wrong, but I'm going to guess it anyway. Space Jam?
It is not Space Jam.
Dude, that was
Solid
in my.
guess.
That was in my head.
Solid guess. Second billed actor for this 62 percenter from 1996, George Clooney. The Cloons.
It can't be that Batman movie. It can't be.
I mean, how many George Clooney movies can you name from 1996?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
It is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
It's tricky because George Clooney is the second billed actor because a lot of people don't realize Clooney was still an ER guy. This was
was.
like his first big movie.
How dare you slander the facts of life? I know it's not a movie, but it was a breakthrough role.
It was not. The top billed
He was on
actor.
the Facts of Life.
The top billed actor in From Dusk Till Dawn, Harvey Keitel. Just so you know.
Dude,
Yep.
I would have. Oh my gosh, that would have just thrown me in the dirt.
All right, Cody wins this installment of the movie game.
Impressively.
Please direct all of your taunts towards and knees towards Justin.
Say, I promise that date is wrong. I was alive. I understand.
Listen.
I was there. I was in the theater.
Y'all can say all you want from the cheap seats, but until you're sitting at the round table with the bright light shining in your face and feeling the pressure, you don't know.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give Cody props because getting it on the second is pretty good. I think if you get it on the fourth, you're no better than anybody.
Let's not go too far. I don't think we need to get. All right, when we come back, Be Kind Rewind on Superman the movie. All right, we're going to take a trip back in time, way back. This might be farther back than we've ever gone before.
78.
Yeah, we're going back before TikTok, before Marvel Cinematic Universes, before Superman was rebooted 47 times.
Before the iPod Nano.
It's like Cody and I weren't even born.
I was 2, 1978, when a certain guy in a cape made us all believe a man could fly. That's right. It's a Be Kind Rewind on Superman the movie, the OG. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why go back to a movie from 50 years ago when we've got CGI and multiverses and villains who can destroy planets with a single snap? Well, because this movie, this Superman paved the way for everything that followed. Whatever we can say about this after this, we can't deny that this movie is sort of the one.
I was going to say, watching this, it made me see how we could get Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, yeah. There's a definite thing we can talk about here where to an 80s kid, this movie, or to a 70s kid, late 70s, this was serious. This was gritty. For comic book related fare. Now, of course, we see it and it's like kind of goofy.
Yep.
But back then it was gritty, and so was Batman 1989's Batman. It was gritty. We thought it was gritty. Now, compared to every Batman after that, not Schumacher's Batman. Every Nolan on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kids play. But yeah. So grab your VHS tapes. Let's rewind to a time when Superman was as real as you or me, or at least as real as the guy who flies around the world to reverse time. Yeah, we'll get to that.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
Superman the movie, 1978. Let's do the broad take here. Introduces us to Kal-El, a baby from the doomed planet Krypton who is sent to Earth and raised by the Kent family in Smallville. As Clark Kent, he grows up to discover his superhuman abilities, including flight strength and invulnerability. Realizing his calling to help humanity, he adopts the alter ego of Superman, a symbol of hope and justice. When the villainous Lex Luthor hatches a plan to sink California for profit,
It makes sense.
It is kind of wild.
Superman must stop him while also dealing with his growing love for reporter Lois Lane. The film builds to a dramatic climax with Superman attempting to save Lois after a tragic accident. With unforgettable performances, a heroic score by John Williams, stunning visual effects for its time, Superman remains a landmark in superhero cinema, blending adventure, romance, and the hero's journey for one unforgettable film. Of course, if you didn't know any of that and you're listening to this podcast, we're going to have Justin come hit you on the head with a hammer.
I'm coming.
Because I don't know what you're doing here.
Bat.
There will be spoilers.
Oh my gosh. Hey, to be fair, I hadn't seen it. So.
All the spoilers. Justin's the youngest guy here, right?
No.
I am.
No.
Cody's younger than you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 38.
As we said, Justin was Christian schooled. That's
true.
not. No, we're not holding that.
Nothing wrong with it. Just you didn't see all the things.
Yeah.
Not all the things.
So you had never seen this movie before.
No, this was my first watch.
Did you see any of the sequels? Like Superman
Probably
2?
like you remember how like all the old like how all the TV stations used to have like
TBS
things playing
and
on.
TNT had
Superman 3 with Richard Pryor was on all the time.
I think I saw
Yes.
clips of things. Yeah.
I used a clip of Superman 3 in one of my sermons. You might remember. I'll tell you all about it later. Here's some cool things you may not know about the making of this movie.
Okay.
Jeff East, who portrayed teenage Clark Kent,
Yes.
his experience on set was notably challenging. I don't know if you could tell this when you were watching it, but he underwent extensive prosthetics makeup, taking up to 4 hours daily to resemble Christopher Reeve. You know, his nose looked kind of weird.
Yeah, it did.
Christopher Reeve, of course, portrayed the adult Superman. Additionally, Jeff's dialogue was entirely dubbed over by Christopher Reeve in post-production.
Oh.
A decision that was made without Jeff East's prior knowledge, and that lack of communication led to significant tension between the two actors.
Say, to be fair, a lot of his facial expressions and sometimes the words that were coming out didn't quite match.
Well,
And,
that's bound
that's-
to happen with the
that's
dubbing.
What it is, yeah.
Well,
That's
you
what
know
it
what's
is.
funny is I didn't know this, obviously, the first so many times I watched, and over the years as I was growing up, whenever I'd see this movie, it's like, how'd they find someone that sounds just like Christopher Reeve? This is amazing. Well,
there you go.
they didn't. They dubbed him. But there was some bad blood. East expressed his dissatisfaction, saying, I was not happy about it because the producers never told me what they were going to do. And despite all that, East still acknowledged Christopher Reeve's performance, saying that Chris did a good job. But that situation caused a rift that lasted for over 2 decades.
How dare you?
There's a happy ending to the story.
Oh, thank goodness.
The tension was eventually resolved years later in 2001 after Christopher's accident. East and Reeve reunited in Niagara Falls for a charity event benefiting the Christopher Reeve Foundation, which kind of marked a kind of poignant reconciliation between the two actors.
you better have reconciled before he passed.
Yes, he did. He did. They patched it up.
The accident definitely feels like an open door for reconciliation. Like it's like, all right, this is silly.
Well, for both men, really, because if you haven't heard our episode on the Christopher Reeve documentary.
Oh, that was such a good doc.
Yeah, you should go back and listen to it because the documentary was great. We cried. And we talked a lot about Christopher Reeve and about how he changes post-accident and how the people around him change. But the other thing I should mention about the behind the scenes of this movie that we wouldn't be able to do this pod and not talk about it. Let's talk about Marlon Brando.
That talentless hack.
I don't know. His straight face was pretty bold.
So Brando's the top billed actor in this.
Which is obnoxious. Poor Christopher Reeve.
He was cast as Jor-El, was paid $3.7 million for approximately 12 days of work.
Oh, and he phoned it in.
Oh, he famously refuses to memorize his lines. He opted instead to read from cue cards placed around the set. And once you know that and you watch it and watch where his eyes are, you can kind of tell.
That dude loved him some crystals in the beginning. He was just messing around with crystals like crazy.
Christopher Reeve notably speaks about this one night on the David Letterman show in 1982. Reeve, expressing his disappointment, said, quote, "I don't worship at the altar of Marlon Brando. I feel he copped out in a certain way." He went on to say that Brando had become complacent, relying on his legendary status rather than actively contributing to his role. And he noted that Brando's uninspired performance was evident during their scenes together. And he said that he, quote, he took the $2 million and ran. Now, notice, Christopher Reeve was told he was making $2 million when actually
he made $3.
Ooh, got him.
Which probably made him even more upset.
I mean, the thing is, with a lot of young actors, they really did like aspire to be like Brando and wanted to meet Brando. Johnny Depp famously did Don Juan DeMarco with Brando. Val Kilmer did The Island of Dr. Moreau,
which is also terrible. Also, Val had things to say, if I remember that right.
And Brando is the common factor of like, he really wasn't acting in any of these roles.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think of actors as like, hey, there's some of them that clearly do it for the love. Like, say what you want about Tom Cruise. That dude just loves doing this.
He really loves cinema.
Yeah. But Marlon Brando was clearly at some point, maybe it didn't start off that way, but by the end he was like, it's just a paycheck. And you could tell. You could tell.
Yeah, you could see it.
All right, let's Muppetize this movie before we get going. Justin, give me one, keep one human actor and Muppetize some of the rest of the cast.
So I felt like to go Superman might be pretty like straightforward, so I tried to go with something different. Okay, the human we're keeping is we're going to keep Lois. Lois is going to stay human.
Oh, I thought I was going to be unique there, but I'm not.
We're going to do Kermit as Superman / Clark Kent, but only if we can have the little frog Robin as the baby in the spaceship. I think Fozzie would be a pretty funny Lex Luthor, especially with the way his wigs were moving around.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
And then the other thing that I thought would be amazing is if Jonathan and Martha were Gonzo and Camila. So, Gonzo's imparting all this wisdom and then he dies and then he's just like, I have to leave. And she's like, bark, 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 bark. And he's like, north. I'm going north. Just like he totally understands her. And it's like, there's no way that's your child. Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
that's great. That's good stuff. Cody, who Muppetized the movie?
I'm keeping Mean Gene. Hackman.
Yeah.
The hack. So, of course, this time I'm playing it straight. Kermit's going to be Superman.
Yeah.
Piggy can be Lois. Beaker will be the chief of the newspaper.
Oh,
nice.
Perry White.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, because of Marlon Brando's lack of acting, I will get someone that will be a million times better, and that is the Swedish chef.
There you go. Yeah.
He'll do a better job with his lines than Brando.
Plus, it'll just be hilarious when he's trying to deliver that serious monologue.
Yeah.
The Dorma Dorgan. Morgan Lordish. Okay, so I kept Margot Kidder as Lois Lane as well. I also toyed around with keeping Superman, but I didn't because I thought, that's boring. So I kept Margot Kidder as Lois Lane, mostly because I wanted to see Kermit fly with her.
Yeah. It's like he's like holding this giant woman.
That to me was just too hilarious to pass up. And of course, once you go that route, Kermit is obviously Superman.
Yeah.
Like once you take out Christopher Reeve, it's got to be Kermit. But that did allow me to put Miss Piggy as Miss Tessmacher. Since I'm already keeping Margot Kidder, Miss Piggy is Miss Tessmacher, which makes the whole scene where she saves Superman and kisses him just a little sweeter.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to get it now because I didn't think you'd kiss me later.
Yeah, it's already kind of a sweet scene.
Yeah.
But it's even sweeter if it's Miss Piggy. One of the old critics, the two old guys in the balcony of the theater.
Statler.
It doesn't even matter which
whatever those
one.
names are.
But one of them is Lex Luthor. I don't even care which one. And the Swedish chef is Otis.
There you go.
Because it would be easy for you to imagine one of the critics rolling their eyes and being exasperated with the Swedish chef. I did toy around with keeping Ned Beatty as Otis too.
Ned was my second choice.
Because I just think Ned Beatty around Muppets would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Justin, what holds up in this movie?
I really like just, like the origin story. I feel like the fact that they just went straight with an origin story, they just kind of immediately go for it. And they kind of make who everybody wants him to be. I mean, like, I think at that point, comic books were what people were really basing everything off of. And I think only a straightforward look is what was going to work. I just think the origin story is the fact that it even worked in the first place. They just built off of that. And,
Yeah. I know we're at a place with comic book movies, and especially the two big DC guys, Superman and Batman, where James Gunn has famously said, we don't need the origin stories anymore.
We don't.
And he's probably right with Batman. But there is something about Superman that I think is so informative about understanding where he comes from, since his role as an immigrant/orphan is so important to his character.
I will say Russell Crowe did a good job as Jor-El.
He did.
Oh,
he did. But I am interested to see James's version without, where we get a Superman who's already used to being Superman. So, but yeah, I think the origin story is great. Cody, what holds up?
Most of the cast.
So Cody,
There's
famous.
a caveat there.
Cody, famous for just saying the cast and taking up all our picks. Most of the cast. Who's not good? Who didn't you like?
They will make it into what doesn't hold up.
Oh,
okay. So who does? Which one of them?
So honestly, this was almost Shakespearean at times. And when you have Christopher Reeves, Juilliard trained, Gene Hackman, a really phenomenal actor. And if certain other people would have been carrying their weight, Gene might have been able to play it more straight. But also, I think some of the writing doesn't lend itself to being played straight. But Gene does a good job. The guy that played Pa Kent, he was really good.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to bash Glenn Ford. I was just like, Glenn Ford is somebody, man. That's a real famous old actor.
He had his moment of he starts having the heart attack, and you can tell he knows it's it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude. Is there anything more heartbreaking than when he says, "Oh no"? And he has that look. He's looking. He's it's almost like he's looking for Ma Kent.
Yeah,
it was heartbreaking. Glenn Ford, if you don't know, this is from this first paragraph in Wikipedia. Most prominent during Hollywood's golden age, is one of the biggest box office draws of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and had a career that lasted more than 50 years. Glenn Ford is somebody.
Yes. Yep. He was phenomenal.
I'm glad you mentioned him. He's amazing.
Ma Kent, I enjoyed her.
Phyllis Thaxter.
And so, in Lois, her and Christopher Reeve, great chemistry.
True. Margot Kidder, I'm going to be honest, even as an 80s kid, Margot Kidder was always sort of obnoxious to me, even as a younger person. But she
smokes.
She does represent 80s female rebellion well. I'll
she
say
does.
that.
And as an 80s kid, I picked up on it. So, yeah, I think the cast did a good job.
You mentioned most of the cast. Who didn't you, or are you going to bring them up later?
I'm bringing them up when what doesn't hold up.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Christopher Reeve a little bit since that flows so naturally into that. He is still the best at the transition from Clark to Kal-El. Both identities were masterfully acted and filled out, which brings so much to the role because it's like, at times it's like you almost get tricked yourself into watching like these are two different people. These are two different characters. You know it's the same actor. But they're not. It's the same person, the same character. The scene where he's toying with telling Lois and takes his glasses off while she goes to freshen up, and then he quickly changes his mind back as she enters the room. That's serious acting, man.
Juilliard.
Oh,
there you go.
We didn't deserve Christopher Reeve. I mean, he was amazing. 6'4". He added 30 pounds of muscle for the role back when we didn't have all the supplements they do now, so that it wasn't as easy. He was initially considered too young and slender for the role. He was a skinny dude. And he underwent an intensive bodybuilding regimen. This is great trivia, by the way. Under the guidance of David Prowse. Famously, the guy in the Darth Vader costume.
Oh,
he was the man inside the suit for the Star Wars series. So
did not know that.
Reeve gained 30 pounds of muscle and achieved that iconic physique without relying on any... the muscle suits that some of the later Batman movies had.
Looking at you, Ben Affleck.
With the fake pecs and the nipples. And I can't believe I just said that on
George Clooney.
Podcast.
I mean,
George Clooney.
Sorry, George.
Justin, what else is good?
You know what? I really enjoyed the stunt work that they did in it because in watching it, I read the premise again and I was like, if I was reading this premise and it was 2025, I would be excited to see this movie. And then I read it again and I'm just like, okay, it's 1978. I'm just going to take it for what it is. And honestly, my expectations were low and they kept getting higher with each thing. Like, I felt like the flying was actually somewhat good. Like, it kind of, like, you knew it wasn't real, but you're like, hey, dude, like, I mean, I'm not seeing strings. They're not like wobbling all over the place.
But yet that's what they used.
Yeah.
Like for that day, that was the biggest thing about that movie that people remembered and people talked about was man, it really looks like he's flying.
Yeah.
It's important to know that since you bring that up, like for 1978, that movie knocked people off their feet.
I bet.
That movie was like by far the most advanced thing that people had ever seen. Even like the Kryptonians' suits that like appeared to be glowing.
Yeah.
Like that effect, they had I can't remember, it had something to do with, there was like glass embedded in the suits that created this shiny glowy effect. And it was something real practical, but it was a very cool thing. And so, yeah, the Christopher Reeve doc also talked a lot about how instrumental Christopher Reeve was in the production of the flying, like how many ideas he went with while he was like suspended with the cables and stuff. And so a lot of that stuff, watching it this time, knowing that it was Christopher Reeve that came up with a lot of those ideas, I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
Cody, what else is good?
The pacing. You go from Krypton, like everything's falling apart. We're having a trial. We're shipping this baby out. He lands in Kansas. And the Kents are happy. Pa Kent's not happy. He's like, oh, this kid surely has parents. And nope. And then like, toddler Superman can hold up a truck.
Yeah. My little boy who was in the room while I was watching that part, he's strong.
He is.
I actually got kind of excited during that part just because you're like, oh, they're not like that moment of like this is who this is. Like, I mean, like, oh gosh, there is something way different. And can we just put some respect out there for Pa Kent and being like, hey, we're not taking a kid. Like, hey, just watch it now. Yeah. Like,
well, to be honest, that was another thing that stood out to me. Even though he doesn't get much to do, Glenn Ford, this is the most faithful depiction of Pa Kent of all the Superman movies. Because one of my big gripes, if you're familiar with the podcast, and we did a Be Kind Rewind on Man of Steel, is like, no. You did not nail Pa Kent.
Don't save me.
Don't save me, Clark. Also, maybe you let people die so nobody sees you. Like, come on, man. That's not Pa Kent.
Oh, Pa Kent.
And there's a scene like right before he dies where Clark is lamenting that he can't play football.
Yep.
It's like, but every time I got the ball, I could score a touchdown. Do we not let the bird fly? He, like, the way they have him put it, it's very logical. It's like, I can do these things. Why shouldn't I? Like, he starts some platitude, but then he breaks off and he's like, I don't know, but I know you're here to do more than score touchdowns.
And he is right.
Yes. And it's the sweetest, most wise thing while a character is saying, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I loved that.
Yeah.
Because Man of Steel, Pa Kent knew, and he was totally wrong.
But yeah, we shift to Metropolis and like his first day on the job, and then all of a sudden we're at Superman, and like it doesn't feel rushed.
Yeah. Well, and you get I thought that too. It's funny that you brought that up because it's not something I normally pay attention to unless it's bad. Unless the pacing is bad. But I thought that because right after the part he gets to the fortress and he becomes Superman, and I looked at the time and I thought, normally 35, 40 minutes into the movie being the first time you see the guy in character or in costume people would say that's bad now. Yeah. But this was perfect. You get about 15, 20 minutes in Krypton and you never feel bored because you're just trying to capture all the information. Then you get 15 minutes in Smallville. And you get everything you need to know about Clark and about his family. And then you go to the Fortress of Solitude, and then you go Metropolis. And you just hit these stations in Superman's life where it's just, it's wonderfully paced.
Now, the first 30 minutes, I was like, is Christopher Reeves in this movie?
Yeah. Nope. Not until he goes and spends 12 years at the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
As one does.
Yeah, as one does. Another thing that holds up the score, obviously, how many of our Be Kind Rewinds do we talk about a John Williams score? Here we are, 50 years later, almost. And the new movie, James Gunn's Superman, still has to use the iconic Williams themes because we can't imagine Superman without it.
No, that is iconic and like a staple. You hear it, you know it's Superman.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what I wanted to point out. It's synonymous with the character, that they're inseparable. And that's amazing to think about. Yeah. Like to just think this was a different set of music composed for a later project for a character that had been around for 40 years. And that is now inseparable to that character. And I think that's just what a testament to John Williams. I mean, he really is the best ever.
John Williams is the GOAT.
And if it was just about that theme, I'd just be like, well, John Williams. But the beginning song, Welcome to Krypton, as we're being shown Krypton like slowly, and it builds and builds and builds until it just unleashes in this crescendo. It is so good. And for the life of me, I don't understand why they don't use that for teaser trailers for current versions of Superman, because I think it would be very cool. It's the perfect length. It's like a couple minutes long.
Yep.
And they don't use it. Also, Can You Read My Mind? The love theme, where you're getting like Lois's inner monologue.
Yes.
I think is brilliant. It's featured during the flying sequence with Lois Lane. It adds this complete other layer to the film that we don't get with Lois most of the time. And it showcases John Williams' versatility in capturing different emotional tones while it's still sounding uniform. Like, you're listening to a romantic song of a girl who's love struck, and yet it's still readily identifiable as Superman. It's great. It's just, he's amazing. John Williams is amazing. Justin, you have anything else that holds up?
I think the last thing I had down here was like, it was a new movie. I hadn't seen it before. And it's like, it didn't matter that it was made back then. I still had excitement in different parts. Like, I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I would watch this again. Like, I really care. Like, I wasn't like, this movie's old. Is it over yet? Like, I don't know. I watched it with my wife and oldest, and my oldest was like, this movie's weird. And I was like, no, it's good. I like it a lot. I'm excited to see what happens next.
There's so many cool scenes in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a part of me, too, that's like, the old timers still talk about Clark Kent, a.k.a. the best punter to ever come out of Kansas.
Yep.
That part where he punts the football?
Yeah.
I remember that from a kid when I was a kid. That just stuck out to me. It's a really cool scene.
Sheer rage, man. Just blows that thing in outer space.
Cody, you have anything else that holds up?
So I will say that this movie is a good litmus test for all other Superman movies. If you can achieve this level, you've made a good to great Superman movie. If you don't, you have missed the mark, and shame on you. Also, so this is something that is good or holds up, but also doesn't hold up. The intro graphics. Like, everyone and their mom was listed, like, at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Older movies, they used to do that.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just saw my dad's name listed.
They go through the entire cast, my man. And written by, and by the way, if you were taken by surprise and you were paying attention to those credits, that was Mario Puzo who wrote the screenplay for this. Mario Puzo who wrote The Godfather.
Yep.
That Mario Puzo.
Which explains a few things, but yes. The graphics for them actually look cool.
Yeah, they do.
It felt like a reverse Star Wars.
Yeah,
like,
very spacey.
They were like, oh, we're not going to start like this. We're going to go reverse angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked it, but at the same time, I'm like, will this ever end?
You know, one of the cooler things about Superman Returns, the Brandon Routh version, was that they did that version of opening credits. Like, they really did the same thing with that, which I always thought was really cool.
I feel bad for Brandon.
Yeah, Superman Returns was on the list of movies to vote for, and I actually kind of liked that movie, and I didn't think it was bad at all. I thought it was a good movie, and Brandon Routh, just like, that movie doesn't get universal acceptance. And because it has some weird things. It was Bryan Singer who had some of his own issues. Plus, there's just Bryan Singer-ish things about that movie. Lex Luthor is, I don't know. Kevin Spacey was a weird choice for me in that one, but yeah.
Also, we start the Nolan verse like the year before, and it's a bad time to be getting into the happy-go-lucky tights.
Yeah, and we were ready for that, by the way.
Yes.
Like, we wanted grit. We wanted realism. Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just bad timing. All right, Justin, what doesn't hold up?
We already talked on it a little bit, touched on a few of them, but some of the acting, like Brando, some of that you just watched and you're like, oh, man, we could probably hurry up through these parts. Like, it's not very believable. Sometimes Clark would have weird. Now I think it was on what's the phrase? I think it was like par for the course because it was kind of comic booky, but you know, like he'd be jumping in front of like a bad guy or something and be like, oh, going my way, or oh, going down, or what, you know, like, and you're just like, oh my gosh, wow, like that, like it felt very comic booky, like just the next thing that would pop up in like a little, you know, speak bubble or whatever, you know, it just. So it was kind of weird and something I didn't always enjoy, but it felt like what they were going for anyway, kind of.
Yeah, and so comic books, you said it right. Comic books are kind of like that, especially the farther back you go.
Yeah.
I did laugh at the scene where he catches the bullet and faints. Yeah. I love that.
Amazing scene. That's an amazing scene because I just love how he's such a goofball. As Clark.
Yes.
And as soon as she turns her back, he opens up his palm and he gets this really super confident smile and dumps the bullet. It's just amazing. Like, I just think, I wonder how much of that was scripted. Like, how much of that was just him?
Yeah.
The mannerisms and how he chose to do that. I thought that's brilliant stuff. Yeah. Just brilliant. Cody, what doesn't hold up?
So, the actor who I thought was trash was Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And it pains me to say this because the dude literally has made probably some of the greatest movies of all time, most iconic actors, and then like by the late 70s, just mail me my check, because I didn't know the fact that he was reading off cue cards, but watching this, I was like, where is he looking?
Well, he was old too, so that had to be big writing. Those had to be big cards.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, I could see how that would be super disappointing.
Yeah.
For anyone that was a serious thespian or wanting to be, and Christopher Reeve is right out of Juilliard. And
idolizes Brando.
As most of these talented thespians do, and then they are disappointed.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about what serious material Brando gets there. And we just talked about Glenn Ford, who plays Pa Kent, who really only gets that brief moment of reacting to his own heart attack.
Yep.
That's really all he gets to do of super importance, but every line he delivers has a gravitas to it. And we talk about that guy and what he gets and what he does with it. And then you see Brando, who should just chew scenery as Jor-El. And he's so boring.
Quite literally, this movie could have been Shakespearean if he was delivering his $3 million performance.
Yeah.
Like,
I couldn't agree more.
You have super talented people in this movie.
Yeah, when I was a kid, the Krypton part's the most boring part of the movie.
Now I have a greater appreciation for Russell Crowe.
Crowe's the man.
He's awesome.
I'm going to go with the absurd motivations, especially in the villainous plot.
What?
Lex Luthor's grand plan involves reprogramming 2 nuclear missiles that the United States is apparently transporting via truck cross country.
And it's very easy to change their codes.
Like it's the freaking Cannonball Run.
It is, Dave.
And reprogramming these missiles to strike the San Andreas Fault, causing California to sink into the ocean.
Reprogramming twice.
His aim to transform the resulting desert land in central California into prime beachfront property, which he has already purchased.
I can dig it.
I don't have to tell you, Cody. The science here is
a little out
absurd.
there.
This is
Out
bad.
there.
Hackman's Luthor is a blend of menace and absurdity. His performance kind of goes back and forth between being a serious threat and being a comedic figure. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that because it creates a dissonance, like, some cognitive dissonance that the audience, I think, can find jarring. Like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take this guy seriously or if he's really a big time threat, although he's got nukes because the US had those dudes on the bridge, like, oh, this random truck is stopped on the bridge. Well, we're carrying a nuclear warhead. We should stop and see if they need help. Like, what? No, that truck's not stopping.
Nah. That truck had a house and it wasn't going to get across the bridge.
They'll find a different way. They're not stopping. At the time, this was all a very fresh take on the comic book genre. Yeah. But today, it just doesn't hold up. Today, those lighter elements don't hold up well because we've seen serious. We've seen straight up takes on the genre that have been very good. And so all of that is just kind of oof.
And it's his character in particular that I look at and I'm like, this is how we get Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton doesn't really solve the problem completely because Jack Nicholson's Joker is a little bit the same way for me, where I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take him seriously or if he's a joke.
Yeah.
And that is nothing to be said of Gene Hackman's performance, which is still great. You're still locked onto him in every scene he's in. He's amazing. It's just the character as written.
Yeah.
Yes, and potentially as directed.
Yeah. Justin, what else? Anything else doesn't hold up?
Something else that I found kind of weird was Lex's lair.
Right?
Like, I thought it looked cool.
I mean, the Superman that I had seen, like through like different like like cartoon shows on Saturday or something like that. It's like it was always like LexCorp and like really like expensive and electronic. And I expected to see some of that, and instead I kept expecting to see like the Ninja Turtles pop up or something. Like I was like, are they in the sewer or?
Dude, that's a 70s thing though. Like think of the Bond movies. Yeah, you got to have like an underground lair.
Yes,
it is weird. Because Lex Luthor is like a billionaire, right? He's supposed to be this rich dude, but the Lex Luthor we get in this movie is like seemingly on the lam.
I feel like that was another part that kind of made you go, is is he for real or is he just like? Yeah,
Listen,
he just didn't know how to take
He's
him.
the smartest man.
That underground layer was dope, though.
It was.
It was pretty cool.
He's swimming around in the pool, which
Yeah.
that's clearly a chlorine real pool. That's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
just
yeah.
like underground
Wasn't
sewer water.
Yeah.
I love when the robe gets brought to him.
Yeah. Hey, next time, wait till I get out of the water.
Yeah, everything with him and Otis is gold.
Something that I thought was kind of weird there in the lair, but I felt like it was really on par for like a comic book, was the kryptonite necklace. Like, here it comes.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
a giant pendant, and he's like, no, not that. And
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like it's coming, and it's like,
I had no problem with that. That's just 80s good entertainment
yeah,
right
like,
there.
that's what I chalked it up
That
to.
is every Superman iteration that somehow someone has like kryptonite underwear.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, have this kryptonite lying around.
Well, so again, it's 78, and there's a very Bondian thing
Yes.
running through all of that because you've got Miss Tessmacher. You've got Miss Tessmacher, who's hot. So she's the gorgeous girlfriend, apparently, of Lex, and Superman just has this way, just like Bond.
Yeah.
And she can't help, but she's got to help him. Now she's also swayed because Lex doesn't care about her mom dying
Yep.
Yeah.
in Hackensack.
Yeah. Promise she's the first one.
But yeah, that whole scene there is very 70s.
Okay.
Anything else that doesn't hold
So
up?
I have a few things.
Okay, rattle them off.
So at the very beginning, when the trial's happening and General Zod and his compatriots are being held by hula hoops, that
What's the problem?
I'm like, this is the technology that holds back Kryptonians.
You just don't understand Kryptonian technology. Like, you try to get out of that pane of glass.
Oh,
Seriously, though, what is that scene doing in this movie?
yeah.
Why is it at the beginning?
I expected him to come back
Like,
or something.
if anything, that's a post-credit scene today.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
a
yeah.
post-credit scene today
Because it has nothing to do,
with Superman 1.
yeah, nothing at all.
Young Superman running as he's running by the train. Like,
I'd
it's
watch that
almost
every
like
day.
Listen,
Baywatch running.
this is like so my youngest daughter was in the room too while we were watching that, and she's like, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, so it's not the CW's Flash, okay? I get it. But you just got to take my word for it. In 1978, this was amazing.
So funny.
And then towards the end of the movie, I had such beef with Christopher Reeve at this scene. So he gets to Lois. He's too late. He doesn't even try CPR. He's like, I will kiss you and lay you on the ground.
Now, I mean, did it scare anyone else when he turns around and he's like, ah, just like punches into the sky? Like, that was the scariest scream of all time.
It was visceral, but that's
it
the
shook me.
reaction he should have had.
Listen,
shook me.
this doesn't hold up in the 80s. Even back then, we're like, I don't think the science works here, you guys. Okay, so Superman upset at Lois dying. Right, she's been under the dirt for 5 seconds.
Yes.
But she's dead. She's totally dead. We could have spent a little
doornail.
more time making, although that scene was very graphic.
It was.
For a essentially a kid's movie. Because like that, I had
She's
nightmares.
buried alive.
I had nightmares of being buried alive like that. That was crazy graphic for that kind of movie. But she dies and he loses his cool.
Oh, man.
And then he starts flying around the earth at high speed,
Yeah.
causing it to rotate in reverse, which in the movie leads to time reversing, which
It makes sense.
no.
How did he know?
Changing the direction of Earth's rotation. Let's just start with step one here. That would require an insane amount of energy. We're talking about altering the rotation of an entire planet that weighs 6 sextillion tons. I looked it up. You can't just fly around it like it's a frisbee.
He can.
And even if somehow Superman could do that, the damage that would do to the planet's core, its gravity, that's catastrophic damage you're doing by stopping the spin of the Earth and reversing it.
He went down into the core and helped fix it.
That filming was weird for a while. I was like, what is he doing down there?
He
still?
went to Hades.
San Andreas.
Hold on to that imagery. But beyond that, reversing time, by spinning the Earth backwards?
Yeah.
Time's a dimension, bro. It doesn't just follow the laws of physics in a spin it to win it kind of way. Yet here we are supposed to believe that by doing this, Superman gets to save Lois and fix everything. Like, look, I learned a lot of real things reading comics growing up. I feel like that this one was absurd even by comic book standards. There was some smart things going on in 80s comics. This is not smart.
And again, you could have tried CPR.
He didn't even try, bro.
He was just upset.
All I could think of, it was like, I can do all these things and I couldn't save him. Like, well, geez, mix in a 20-minute CPR class, bro.
Staying alive.
All right. Justin, which character would you be if you were a character in this movie?
I think I would like to be not so much Superman, but I thought Clark Kent looked pretty fun to play. Like, just the
you would be Clark Kent, but not without the superhero alter ego.
Yeah, no, like he's just like, oh, did you have another person on the balcony? Oh, are you ready for our date? Like, I mean, that I thought that was hilarious when he was doing that. But I also thought Otis would be pretty fun to play.
Otis is just carefree, man.
Yeah, he's living the
I can
dream.
see that. You're definitely an Otis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just oblivious to the things going on around you because you're just happy. You're too happy for that.
Wait, what? No,
Like to be concerned with the world. Like Lex is concerned with everything going on. You're just like, hey man, I'm just glad to be here.
I just smudged the codes off my hand.
Cody, who would you be?
Okay, so at my best, I'm Pa Kent.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
At my normal self, I'm Jimmy Olsen.
Say, could that guy be more oblivious taking pictures on the dam? Goodness gracious.
He's taking pictures of employees in the Daily Planet, man. Like, why are you being weird, bro?
Yeah, you're being crazy.
I would be Lex Luthor. Now, before you start thinking I'm secretly plotting world domination, Cody, hear me out. Because it's not about the evil genius part. It's more about the needing people to love me part. You see, deep down, Lex just wants to be appreciated. He's this super smart guy, but no matter how hard he works, Superman is the one everyone adores.
Yep.
And I mean, come on, who hasn't felt a little overlooked or misunderstood? It's probably some old trauma. Kids in the 80s, they know this well. Maybe his parents didn't pay enough attention to him. So we get it. Lex and I, we're not that different. We're just trying to, won't someone love me?
Yeah.
But me not so much in a villainous way. Yeah. All right, it's time for Pastor's Corner. Deeper themes. Here's what I have listed. You tell me where I'm off or if I miss anything.
Okay.
Superman as a Christ figure is the overarching theme of a lot of Superman entertainment. Kal-El's arrival on Earth mirrors the nativity story. His spaceship even looks like a star.
It does.
The
Looking
star.
at you, Richard Donner.
Jor-El's words to Kal-El, I have sent them you, my only son. That's not subtle.
It's deep.
Nope.
That's deep.
Clark's journey into the wilderness to discover his purpose, like that he can't start until a certain time, and it's somewhere around the age of 30.
And it is with a biblical number, 12. 40 would have been ridiculous.
Yes.
12, we can manage.
I did think it was really interesting that, like, he leaves when he's 18. He spends 12 years in the Fortress of Solitude, 30 years old. And that's when he starts his quote-unquote mission.
Yes.
Interesting. I love the scene where he rescues Lois for the first time. And she's all flustered and finally blurts out, "Who are you?" To which he responds in the just Christopher Reeve way, "A friend."
Yeah.
And I think, that's a very Christ-like response. I'm not getting into exactly who I am yet, but what you need to know is I come as a friend. And his definition of friend is, I'll lay down my life for you. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The best part about Superman is that we're not talking about just that he is someone who's hopeful and optimistic, is that he's supposed to represent in this story as an allegory to a Christ-like figure. He represents hope, which is, to get back to what we were talking about in the first segment, that's what they need to nail in the new one. Anything to add on to that?
The Hades imagery.
He does go into the earth, doesn't he?
Wild.
He goes into the fiery pits and saves humanity.
Justin, who's your winner of the movie?
I'm gonna say the Salkind family, who pushed for it for years and finally got them to go for it with DC. And I mean, golly, really cut through the West there, man. Like they laid their stake on it, and it paid off huge.
The Salkinds, even though obviously they're not the originators of the character, they are to Superman the movies what the Broccoli's were to the Bond movies. Like they were that
chopping broccoli.
Please don't. Cody, who's your winner of the movie?
Someone that I am the only person that has mentioned so far. Old Richard Donner.
Oh, yeah.
After this, not only does Superman 2, does Lethal Weapon, The Goonies, like multiple Lethal Weapons, Maverick.
He goes on a run, doesn't he?
Scrooged.
What a run.
Like, so this, I feel, is the start of the run. And so...
Plus, when it comes to 2, he's the first one to get like the before social media, hashtag give us the Donner cut.
Yes.
Because there's a big disagreement with the way Superman 2 goes down, and Richard Donner leaves the project.
I was going to say, they were filming at the same time, right? Simultaneously until they stopped and wanted to finish the first, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it goes down. I think Donner films a bunch, and then the producers don't like what he's doing, and they get in this big fight, and he just leaves. Okay, my winner of the movie is, I'm just going with the obvious choice, Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Because when I think of Superman as someone who was born in 76, this movie comes out when I'm very young, so it's not like I saw this in the theater, but it's one of those movies that's just kind of synonymous with my childhood. When I think of Superman, I think of Christopher Reeve. He didn't just play Superman, he was Superman. And for kids growing up in the late 70s and early 80s, that's how it was. He set the bar for every other actor to follow, and if we're being honest, they don't really come close. We'll have to see how Corn Sweat does. I'm hopeful from some of the things I've seen. But he still kind of sets the bar for it. He captures the perfect blend of strength and kindness, the real ideal of Superman, and he's pretty much famous for that role. Yeah. Like, he has some other roles that are good acting choices, but it never reaches the height of this.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural moment, and it's because of him. He takes the prize here. He was Superman.
Yeah. It's like the music. You knew it when you saw him. You knew it when you heard it.
There are 2 things that are absolutely iconic about this movie, and it's Christopher Reeve and John Williams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who do you have as the loser of the movie, Justin?
Brando.
Brando's, I mean, he's the obvious choice, right?
I mean, I hate to say it again, but it just feels...
See, Brando would say he wasn't the loser because he walked away with $3 million bucks. Yeah. He had the greenbacks.
Yeah, it's true.
So I have a different loser.
Guacamole.
Yeah, I do too. What do you have, Cody?
Young thespians everywhere who looked up to Brando. That's who. Because again, Brando was cashing checks.
Yeah, dude, he totally sold out and just mailed it in, didn't he? Yeah. I have the loser as being, not for bad acting, Gene Hackman. And let me explain, because he is brilliant in what they ask him to do. He really brings that genius level menace to the role. But the problem is they wrote him so campy. I mean, he's got these great lines, but the whole thing feels like kind of a Saturday morning cartoon.
I was going to say it also reminded me of the 60s Batman series.
Yeah.
Like, this is someone that would have been one of the bad guys.
Whereas Superman gets these iconic moments that feel different than 60s camp superhero type stuff. Gene doesn't get that. And it's a shame because his talent is wasted on a script that doesn't really let him flex the villain muscles. And the result, he gets overshadowed by Reeves' Superman. And honestly, Hackman's Lex should have been remembered as iconic too. But he gets boxed in by the camp, and we never get to see the depth he could have brought to the character. And that's why I think Gene Hackman is the real loser here.
Although, so far, the best Lex we've had on the big screen.
That's true, but it's because he's been poorly written, in my opinion. Because I don't think Jesse Eisenberg's, it's his fault.
No.
That he's such a weird Luthor in Snyder's version. I think that's because they wrote it weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. All right. Justin, how many Otisbergs out of 10 are you giving this movie?
Say 1978, had never seen it before, watched it, kind of took it with a grain of salt for the year. I enjoyed Christopher Reeve. I enjoyed the special effects. I was constantly surprised by like what he was giving me for its time. 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
liked
think
it
that's
a
fair.
lot, and I would watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely entertaining, especially now in more of a time capsule way. But the characters, some of this character of Superman himself is still great. Cody?
I'll go 8, 7.5 to 8.
Yeah.
In that range. For me, Christopher is who Superman is until I watch this new Superman, and then I might have new thoughts.
Yeah.
But throughout my life, there has only been one name that I would say is synonymous with Superman, and it's Christopher Reeve. The other guys that have played him, including, I guess, Dean Cain.
Yeah.
First guy that came to my mind. Him and Terry Hatcher.
The oldest kid from Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
Hey, there will be no Tom Welling slander. No Tom Welling slander.
Smallville, Kansas.
Some of them have been really, really bad. Some of them have been okay to good. Christopher was great. And this movie encapsulates that.
Yeah, I've got 2 scores. By 1978 standards, this is a 9. It's an amazing movie.
It is.
But because it's 50 years old, in today's, I'd give it about a 6.5 to a 7. It's good. It's above average, but it just doesn't hold up to what they can do today, which is why I'm so hopeful for the movie we're about to see this
I'm
weekend.
hoping they encapsulate someone in glass and it just floats through space.
That'd be awesome.
There you go.
All right, what do you guys think about Superman the movie from 1978? Is it one of your childhood favorites? Are you a little too young for that? Do you watch this and go, I don't get it? Let us know on the social media posts for this. And everybody go out and see the new Superman movie. It's summer blockbuster season. We're excited to talk about it next week. So make sure you're subscribed to the pod so you don't miss that. We'll see you next time.